you think you know the UK? Think Big Ben, red buses, and afternoon tea, right? Well, buckle up because we're about to dive into the minefield of British etiquette that absolutely no one prepared you for. These aren't just quirky cultural differences. These are the unwritten rules that separate tourists from total disasters. Break these at your own risk, because the Brits will judge you silently and mercilessly. Ready to avoid becoming a walking embarrassment? Let's go. First up, and this is absolutely sacred, never, ever, ever cut in line. The British call it a queue, and they take it more seriously than most countries take their national anthem. You could be dying of thirst in front of a water fountain, but if there's a queue, you wait your turn. The thing is, Brits won't always call you out directly. They'll just stand there, radiating disapproval, tooting quietly, making you feel their silent rage until you shrivel up inside. Queue jumping is basically a declaration of war. Listen, your British accent is not good. It's just not. No matter how many times you've watched Harry Potter or The Crown, you sound ridiculous. Brits can spot a fake accent from a mile away, and trust me, they're cringing internally. They're too polite to tell you to stop, but they're absolutely roasting you in their heads. Just speak in your normal voice. They'll respect you way more for being authentic than for attempting whatever Cockney meets Downton Abbey disaster is coming out of your mouth right now. Tea. It's not just a beverage, it's practically a religion. And there are rules. When someone offers you tea, you accept. Even if you don't want it. That's just how it works. And here's the controversial part: milk goes in after the tea. Anyone who tells you otherwise is starting a fight. Never microwave tea. That's an actual crime. And if someone makes you a cup of tea, you better drink it and act grateful, even if it tastes like dishwater. It's about respect, people. British pubs have their own entire ecosystem of rules. Don't snap your fingers or yell at the bartender. They saw you. They'll get to you when they're ready. You order at the bar, not at your table, unless it's a proper restaurant. And here's the big one: rounds. If someone buys you a drink, you're expected to buy the next round. It's an unspoken social contract. If you accept drinks all night and never reciprocate, congratulations, you're now known as that person who everyone will avoid forever. In the UK, sorry is not just an apology. It's a greeting, a conversation starter, a way of life. Someone bumps into you? You say sorry. You sneeze? Sorry. The weather's bad? Sorry about that. It seems absurd, but it's deeply ingrained. If you don't apologize for basically existing, you'll come across as aggressive and rude. The British use sorry as social lubrication. It keeps everything running smoothly. So just embrace it. Say sorry even when it makes zero logical sense. You'll fit right in. Look, you might have opinions about the royal family. Keep them to yourself. Even if you meet British people who criticize the royals, that doesn't mean you get to join in. It's like talking about someone's weird uncle. They can complain, but you can't. It's a family thing. You'll find the UK is split on the monarchy, but as a visitor, just stay neutral. Nod politely. Change the subject. Talk about the weather. Speaking of which, weather chat is always safe territory and highly encouraged. Tipping in the UK is nothing like America. There's no mandatory 20%. In restaurants, 10 to 12% is fine, and only if service wasn't already included in the bill. Check first. At pubs, you don't tip for drinks at the bar. Maybe you offer to buy the bartender a drink if they've been especially helpful, but that's it. Taxi drivers get a small tip, maybe round up to the nearest pound. Basically, tipping exists, but it's way more low-key. Don't overtip trying to be generous. It just makes things awkward. This one trips up so many people. The peace sign. You know, 2 fingers up. Seems innocent, right? Wrong. It matters which way your palm is facing. Palm facing outward, you're good. That's peace, victory, photos with friends. But flip it around so your palm faces you, and you've just given someone the British equivalent of the middle finger. It's incredibly offensive. So before you flash a peace sign in your UK selfies, double-check which way your hand is pointing. This is not a drill. Here's a geography lesson that matters. The UK is not England. England is part of the UK, along with Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Call a Scottish person English and watch the temperature drop faster than a London winter. Each country has its own identity, culture, and pride. It's not interchangeable. If you're in Scotland, you're in Scotland. Wales is Wales. Get it right. This isn't just pedantic, it's respectful. Mess this up and you've immediately labeled yourself as ignorant. Take the extra second to learn the difference. On escalators, especially in London, there's a strict system. Stand on the right. Walk on the left. This is non-negotiable. If you stand on the left blocking people who are trying to walk, you will get huffed at, tooted at, and possibly shoved. Londoners are always in a rush and they will not tolerate your obliviousness. Even if you're tired. Even if you're confused. Right side standing, left side walking. Memorize it. Live it. This applies to pretty much every tube station and it's serious business. British people love their personal space. Like, really love it. Don't stand too close in conversation. Don't hug people you just met. Handshakes are fine, but even those can feel formal. The Brits are not big on physical contact with strangers or even acquaintances. If you're from a culture that's more touchy-feely, dial it back in the UK. Respect the invisible bubble around each person. Invading that space makes people deeply uncomfortable, even if they're too polite to say anything. Give them room to breathe. Americans, this one's mostly for you. Stop comparing everything to America. The Brits don't care that things are bigger, cheaper, or different back home. Constantly saying, well, in America we do it this way, makes you sound obnoxious. You're in the UK. Experience it on its own terms. Every country does things differently, and that's the whole point of traveling. Nobody likes the person who spends the entire trip talking about how much better things are somewhere else. You're a guest. Act like one. Appreciate the differences instead of complaining. Look right first, not left. I cannot stress this enough. Traffic comes from the opposite direction than you're probably used to if you're from most countries. Londoners literally paint look right and look left on the streets because tourists keep almost getting hit by buses. Don't be that person splattered across the Telegraph headline. And jaywalking is less enforced here, but that doesn't mean it's safe. Use the crossings. Pay attention. Put your phone away. British drivers are not messing around, and those double-decker buses will absolutely wreck you. The British have mastered the art of small talk that means absolutely nothing. Weather chat is the national pastime. Complaining about trains is bonding. But here's the thing, don't get too personal too quickly. Asking someone how much they earn or about their relationship status right off the bat is wildly inappropriate. Keep it surface level until you actually know someone. And when someone asks how you are, fine thanks, you, is the correct response. They don't actually want your life story. It's just a polite exchange. Learn the dance. British food gets mocked a lot, but don't you dare insult it while you're there. Try the local stuff with an open mind. And some quirks, baked beans on toast is a real meal, not a joke. Brown sauce exists and people love it. Beans for breakfast is normal. Also, don't expect free water to automatically appear at restaurants like in America. You usually have to ask for tap water specifically, or they'll try to sell you bottled. And portion sizes are smaller. Don't complain. Just order more if you're still hungry. Different food culture, different rules. Look, the UK is an amazing place full of history, culture, and genuinely lovely people. But like anywhere, it has its own social codes and expectations. The key is to be observant, respectful, and willing to adapt. Watch what locals do and follow their lead. Ask questions when you're unsure. Most Brits will appreciate your effort to fit in, even if you stumble a bit. These rules might seem overwhelming, but honestly, most boil down to basic respect and awareness. Follow these guidelines and you'll have an incredible time without accidentally offending an entire pub full of people. Now go forth and don't embarrass yourself. Safe travels.